This you crazy mother.
Welcome everyone to this iRacing event here on the Air Broadcasting Network. This is the ECR Elite Championship Racing League Driving 125 at Gateway Motorsports Park. It is a 1.25 mile track, 4 corners, and track altitude is 413. 413 feet, almost 414 feet. The weather tonight is partly cloudy, 75 degrees on the track, 75 degrees in the air, 71% humidity, and a 16.78 kilometer per hour wind speed. Now, I ran out here a couple laps myself, did about 15 laps or so, and the truck actually feels pretty nice out there, pretty decent, and it's about like a 35 lap fuel run. But in the booth with me tonight, I do have Todd Gilley. Todd Gilley, do you get a copy?
I do, Scotty Brown. It's great to be back with you again tonight. Nice to be here at Gateway.
amazing. Yes, unfortunately, Mike Kinner will not be joining us, at least not quite yet. He's having some technical issues, so he should be joining us later, but if not, it'll be us tonight, and we'll be calling this race.
Scotty, you got a sec?
Live, but yes.
Yeah, that's fine. Hey, listen, since we don't have an RC tonight, just have you on every caution. Make sure you get a real good look at it and give who you think's at fault. We're going to go on the honor system until we get an RC, but having your video as backup and proof is going to help a lot, besides just like Scott saving the replay.
10-4.
I appreciate it, brothers. Have a good time.
Thank you.
Thanks. League admin Josh Susi bouncing in with us for a minute there.
It's, some of these calls are tough to make, and unfortunately, because we don't have an RC tonight, we're actually going to be in charge of that. So, with that said, it's going to be very interesting tonight here, folks. But don't forget that this iRacing event is brought to you in part by Pit Stop Designs. Make sure you make them your last pit stops on vehicle designs here on iRacing. Joey Stats is the one that actually does designs for Pit Stop Designs, and you can find them on Facebook or just Facebook message Joey Stats himself. Also, don't forget to check out the Beeline series over on the ECR YouTube channel. They are on Tuesday nights, and the YouTube link is down in the description below. Also check out the Cup series, also brought to you by Pit Stop Designs. That is over on the Ford Entertainment Group, and the link for that YouTube channel is also in the description below. And I also have Mike Kinner, Hell Yeah Racing, I've got Cornerstone Racing, and I do have Jason O'Connor's channel down in the chat. Those guys are all cockpit view cars, as far as that goes, so as far as the broadcast goes. So a little bit different view than what we have here, but it is qualifying time, so let's see what the results are right now.
I showed Jacob Cochran at the top of the board right now. Scotty, how about you?
You are correct on that. It is Jacob Cochran with a 33.198 currently, but Earl James is a tenth of a second behind him, and Scott Hunsinger is almost 2/10 behind him. Not quite 2/10, but almost 2/10.
I'm really excited to see the 39 truck up there, as I took ownership of that vehicle this week along with the 16, which won't be running this week, but Earl James is driving my truck, and he looks like he's P2 right now, and that's pretty exciting.
Earl James, he's a good driver out there. I've seen him week in and week out be able to manage his own.
You got to be able to finish. That's his thing, just like me, and that's why he drives for me. You got to be able to finish, or you can't finish well.
Exactly. So right now, let's look at your top 10. We got Jacob Cochran, Earl James, Scott Hunsinger, Tristan Rogers, Douglas Hess, Josh Susi, Josh Conover, Christian Snyder, Andrew Melvin, and Ed Adams currently qualified. Followed by Corey Chaffin, Nick Edwards, Jamison Miller, Dan Matthews, Will Prue, Nathan Katsilas, and Ronnie Miller. So, right now, only 17 people have qualified. I do believe that's it who can qualify. And currently, 24 people are eligible to run. I actually joined as a driver, so I'm showing up on the list, even though that's not going to happen.
I almost jumped in the 16 and drove it tonight, but I had so much fun broadcasting with Scotty Brown that I decided to leave it in the hauler and come up here.
Well, that's much appreciated. It's definitely going to be a good race here tonight. We've got 125 laps here tonight. A lot longer than what we had last year. I do believe last year we only did 85 laps. But the way that we've changed the seasons between all three series, and if you guys are first time joining, as far as the truck series go, we run half fuel, dynamic weather, and fixed setups. And it's quite the mixed bag.
It is at that, the fixed setups is a level playing field, and in a race this long, tire management's going to be key.
It really is. We got Steven Sykes in the chat saying, "Let's go, Earl." Got a fan of Earl James out there. Just waiting for these guys to get up now. Let's go ahead and throw on that ticker. And let's take a look at Justin see if Jacob Cochran has gridded yet. There he is. Running that slim Coca-Cola Chevy. We were talking about this during Discord, saying how nobody had to pick Coke throughout, the entire league. We've got, 100 members, and nobody picked Coke the last 2 seasons. What happened to make a sponsor like that just not be picked?
I don't know. It's strange. I mean, there's probably a million great Coca-Cola paint schemes on trading paints, I would imagine. There's been some great Coca-Cola race cars, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, with trading paints is a numerous amount. A lot of people on here. I know a lot of our newer drivers probably got their paints off trading paints, but we've got quite a few people in the league that do actually paint as well. So it's a plus, being in a group of people that actually know what they're doing in Photoshop or GIMP, or if they're using the trading paints builder itself. So with the field that we have here tonight, these 24 trucks here, Todd, what is your predictions? I mean, who do you think is actually going to come out on top?
Well, Jacob Cochran obviously is the fastest. He was fastest in practice. Earl James was very quick in practice and turned in very consistent laps. Scott Hunsinger's always going to be competitive in any ECR race. Those 3 are my top 3 picks.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. My 3 tonight here are going to be Scott Hunsinger, Josh Conover, and Douglas Hess.
Douglas Hess could compete on this track also, for sure. He was really good at Pocono.
Oh yeah,
in the Cup cars.
I gotta say, we didn't run no Pocono trucks. You won't see that. Actually, not till the end of the season.
And the reason I mentioned Pocono is because this place seems like it's a bunch of great big turn ones from Pocono. But here we go. We're getting ready to go live as Jacob Cochran leads him down to the green flag.
Here we go. 125 laps here at Gateway. And just a fair warning, I don't know if you guys can see this, but all the particles that are coming up, that is dirt on the track. This track is extremely dirty here tonight.
Earl James and Jacob Cochran side by side into turn 3 for the lead.
And 39 taking the outside, very wide there.
He was up in the dust, wasn't he there, Scotty?
Yeah, definitely not a good place for him to be. You want to try to be on that inside line as much as you can here. You wouldn't think so, but the way that this track. Oh, we got a spin out already. Jacob Cochran into the wall.
Oh, Earl tapped him.
But that will not be a caution. But Earl slowed right down too. But we have a new leader of Scott Hunsinger. And that Amp Energy Silverado. Followed by Tristan Rogers in the 85, Josh Susi in the number 2, actually just passing Conover. But Conover is making a run for that inside against Christian Snyder. They're battling for this 5th place position, and we do have a caution. Trying to see where that was at.
It's going to be for the caution involving the 3.
Alright, let's go ahead and take an instant replay on that.
Earl James is looking low under the 3 coming down through 1 and 2. And as they exit the corner, just touched his left rear. Just enough to turn him around. I don't think he meant it.
I think that might have been an admin caution at that point because the caution flew when Cochran was still right on the track.
Oh, I agree. I'm virtually certain it's an admin.
And it does happen, as you guys see. iRacing does not always call the cautions that should be called. And we have quite a few people pitting here as we are back live. And Jacob Cochran missed his pit just enough. But with that said, we're on lap 4. We made 4 green flag laps. And that's the, we were talking about this in admin and just, and actually a few of the other groups sent them in, that it seems like the truck series, granted, we're not rookies in iRacing, but the truck series has a lot of rookies in it, and it seems like the truck series has the most cautions out of all the series that we run in ECR. When it shouldn't be that way. We should barely have any cautions. I mean, because that's what we're trying to aim for this league to be.
I would agree. Statistically, you should be less cautions because of the less shorter races, less laps. Again, sometimes people get so aggressive at the trucks are so easy to drive. Guys just get too full of themselves, I think.
No, it's definitely right about that. I think, a lot of overdriving happens, or they just get very impatient. And, you don't just see that in a league. You see that outside, and definitely in the rank series, the actual, running for your license and running for your iRating. But, patience is really a virtue, especially when we have long races like this. I mean, still 120 laps to go. We're pacing. We're going to be going 1 to green here very shortly. But, these guys have to realize that they can't win it on the first lap. Most of them do. I understand that, but I don't think some of them really get it. It's unfortunate, but, it's just that mentality that you got to learn, You're racing with a lot of great people here in iRacing. Some of these guys have over 5,000 iRating at that. And they're in this league. I mean, this league is a mixed bag between, 1,500, 1,400 to 5,000-6,000 iRating. So that competition level is extremely high, and a lot of people don't take that, into account.
Yeah, you got to remember there's guys in here that are better than you, and can't have too much overconfidence. But I think what happens is, guys, my point is that guys come from Cup car, they come from the B car, which are sometimes edgy and harder to drive, and they get in this thing, and it's so easy to just mash the gas, and they get carried away, maybe. I don't think that's what happened in this case. I think it was just kind of a racing deal.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that that was a racing incident that was called. Right now, we do not have any race control, so it's going to be relying on me, relying on us to go through and look through to see what caution, how the caution was called, and we'll decide from there after the race who gets the EOLs, because we did bring it back EOLs. And for those of you wondering, we have one of the most extensive rule books here in iRacing as a league.
Going green.
And we are going green. And Tristan Rogers is leading this pack off. But, wow, he did get quite a step up on that.
I'm I'm not sure he didn't change lanes before the start finish.
That's gonna be a close call there.
I mean, I don't think it made a difference.
It would still make a difference. He would still get an EOL. As we're looking back in the pack here from 10th back, you got quite the battle going on here. These guys really crunching up together. We got the 51 of Jameson Miller on that inside wall there. And a little bit of bumping between Susie and Massey, I do believe. The number 97. Nope, that's Boger. It's normally Massey. Massey's not. I think Massey's here tonight. These guys really taking it easy. You saw it was 3 wide there, but you know, as I said earlier, they need to figure out what they're doing on the track here with a lot of laps to go. And I'm pretty confident these guys, for the most part, know what they're doing.
Truck backwards at the start-finish line, Scotty Brown.
Oh man,
caution's out.
That is Mayu and someone else. That was Jameson Miller. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at that really quick. He's coming off of 2 here, coming off of 4 here, and no, it was above him. Okay, so that looked like 61. Oh yeah, 61, and it's all mangled up. Okay, so let's go back just a hair. Go to half speed here and check out what happened here coming out of corner number 4.
It looks like the 45 makes contact with the 61.
Yeah, it looks like Morrison did come down, which then made contact with the 83, creating a little bit of a cluster right there. That is unfortunate, but I do believe the 45 is going to be getting that, and that is Jeremy Morrison. A little bit of rough contact out here. I mean, it doesn't take much. I mean, it's a very wide track. Anything's really bound to happen. But as you see, you got a few guys pitting right now. And let's go ahead and... Want to interview Douglas Hess?
Bring him up.
Douglas Hess, welcome to the broadcast booth. Do you got a cup?
Yeah, I got you.
I see you are now currently leading this. A little bit of a rough race out there starting out. I mean, we're on lap 11 here, and we've already had a couple cautions. What is your take of this track here tonight?
I mean, I don't think it feels too bad. You just can't. Oh, it's easy to overdrive it. That's for sure.
Oh, most definitely. Todd, you got anything for him?
Are you going to be beating up the right front much? Did you notice that in practice, Doug? How much can you get out of a set of tires there?
Yeah, to be honest, I did one run at 26 laps, and I just ran as hard as I could. I forgot to check tire wear, so I just take what I get.
All good, man. Well, you got that truck up front right now. Good luck to you. I hope you can keep it there.
Yeah, I stayed out both times. More than 5 laps. I'm not going to pit for right now. Except for the next one. We'll see.
Yeah, you might need to then. What's the fuel run here? About 30, 35 laps?
That's what somebody said. I was 26 in practice and had like 7 laps left, so maybe 32.
Well, that's not bad. Well, good luck out there to you. You got a lot of people wanting that position behind you, I tell you what.
Yeah, there's a couple more on the same tires, so I should be all right if I get a good restart.
Awesome. Well, good luck to you, Doug.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
That was 31 at Douglas Hess. Currently your leader right now. So far we've had 2 cautions and 3 lead changes. So a little bit happening here, but still quite a long race to go. How did you feel, knowing that Gateway was, tonight here, Todd? I mean, I don't know if you've ever raced here before or been here on the sim, but it's quite the different track. I mean, it's basically mini Darlington.
It's a very interesting racetrack. Long straightaways, big deceleration to get into the corner. If you do it right, you can get back in the gas really early and carry big speed onto the straightaways, and that's the secret to it. Whoever gets back to the gas first wins here.
Definitely starting out like this, where Doug Hess is going to lead this pack off here as the pace car will be going in this next time around. That takeoff, as you said, it is a must here.
Yeah, I don't know how easy it is to spin the tires in the truck. It's not nearly as easy as it is in the A car with 850, 900 horsepower. These trucks are only 600 and a quarter. But that takeoff is important. Starting in the right gear, not spinning your tires, not stacking the field and creating a mess. Yes.
Yeah, and the weight of these trucks does make a difference on that too. I mean, the tires are running a lot different, so hopefully you won't see that here. But we're back to green flag racing. Douglas Hess, your current leader, taking off like a rocket, but he's got 37 and 63 sniffing him down already.
Christian Snyder's fast here too.
Okay.
He was quick in practice.
Well, he had mentioned earlier that this is one of his favorite tracks. Oh, we got a spin out for number 49. Craig Blair, but he's got took quite a bit of damage, but looks like he's gonna make it back out. No caution will be called on that. Got a heck of a battle going on here between second and third place Christian Snyder and the 37 right now of Andrew Melvin. Andrew Melvin taking over the lead. Oh, they're 3 wide right now, coming off corner number 2.
They are at that.
Oh man, what a battle between those 3.
That whole top 6 is a real mess right now, isn't it? That is going on.
They're fighting. They're fighting real early. Man, these guys need to take it easy. I know points are points, but it's still.
I think maybe Anthony Fitchner told them to put on a show.
That might have been too. You can see the dirt and the sparks flying all over the place on this track. It's incredible. Just go ahead and run through the field here real quick. We've got George Munger in 11th, started 21st. Tristan Rogers back to 13th now. Jacob Cochran in 15th. Daniel Racing 14th. Jeremy Morrison in 15th. Josh Mayo in 17th. Jason O'Connor in 18th. Ed Adams in 19th. Jameson Miller in 20th. Craig Blair in 21st. Will Prue in 22nd. And currently 2 laps down is the 94 Nick Edwards and 48 of Corey Chaffin. And we have yourselves a new leader, and that is 63 of Christian Snyder, guy who said this was his favorite track.
I'm just doing a little check-in to see. I do believe that Jacob Cochran still has a very fast truck, and he may be something to watch here tonight.
Well, let's hope so. He, he's definitely one of those high contenders out here. Oh, got a little bit of a check up there in corners 3 and 4. Scott Hunsinger having to slow up just a bit. Do not want to catch that apron, and we have a caution.
Check the 20.
20 in the 85, maybe? Oh, where we are paused right there. That is an awesome look. We got the 20, the 76, the 85, and the 33 all piled up right there on corner number 3. Corner number 4, I should say. So we gotta go back just a hair. Alright, so that is that. So
Looks like the 20 might have turned the 85, perhaps.
Rogers, yeah. Check out the far chase to see. Well, 20 is coming low, and the 85. Yeah, the 85 squeezed him down. I would honestly put that on the 85. 20 had the open spot, he was taking it, and the 85 did not let it happen.
I would agree.
And that is 85 of Tristan Rogers. Because you could see it. You could see it from his view. He's riding that line, and then he pinched him down. That's gonna be on Tristan, and it caused a massive pileup like that. Wonder if anyone was able to join his RC.
I believe Josh Sheets is in now as RC.
Oh, awesome.
I think.
We're still going to be taking a look at the replays, folks, just to show you guys what actually went down. And from this view, you know, it's a pretty decent sized track. You know, it is 1.25 miles. And, you know, driving around in these trucks, you wouldn't think it would be that big. But, and then again, you know, you're going pretty fast around this track. But it's still a decent sized track for what it is. And you guys currently have a new leader of Josh Susie. Now last year when we were doing this, it was always hashtag Susie Nation here in the truck series, and kind of followed him throughout the entire year. But this year I'm not sure where his fans are at, but I tell you what, if they were here right now, my chat would be filling right up.
Josh is a great guy.
Oh yeah, definitely, and he's covering tonight, and it's nice to see him out here on the track. I bet he's pretty happy right now. You know, this early in the race leading, you know, we're gonna come to 100 to go here in a few laps, so it's gonna be, if we can keep it green, there should be at least three green flag pit stops if it stays green.
I want to point out that Earl James driving my truck has come back from his EOL to work his way back to 5th position in this race to take his restart.
Oh, that is awesome.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited.
Oh, I bet you are, as a team owner. Now, it's nice to see when your trucks are out there. Myself, I got George Munger there. He's going to be starting in 7th, so he's moved up quite a bit. You know, that's the thing about this league. For Earl James is back in it. Yes, he is. Back in it to win it, Steven.
Yes.
And it looks like Susie's going to start on the outside. Now, as the leader, that's one thing that we do let you guys do here in ECR. As the leader, you have the choice of the inside or the outside line, depending on what you like to run. And as you see, Susie is taking right off.
I think the 31 truck must have missed a shift or something there. He didn't get going, kind of stacked the inside lineup. Scotty, it's a good thing we didn't have a caution right there.
It was either that or he didn't want to get the black flag for passing because where they did swap lane.
Ah, yes.
And that's the only downfall of that. I mean, granted, yes, it's good for the leader, but for everyone else, it's just like, well, you know, you don't want to get that black flag. And, you know, like in rated races, you don't see that because you have to stay on the outside or the inside of whichever iRacing tells you to be. But we got Jonathan Boger up here in third, starting 19th. Wow. In that Reese's truck. Susie, heck of a lead right now, almost a second lead already, and it's only been a couple laps. And Boger making a pass.
Yes, he is. Taking a look underneath him here, coming down to turns 1 and 2. Douglas Hess going to make that outside line work, carry a little more momentum, and beat him onto the back straight away.
And with that, you know, you see Boger had to slow down quite a bit, and you see Scott Hunsinger trying on that outside now. Oh, Earl James there. Looks like he got into the back of Hunsinger a little bit.
I don't know if he hit him, but boy, he had a giant run and had to really stomp on the brakes there.
And right now we got Josh Conover still sitting in 7th. He started 7th. You know, good spot for him. You know, that's a guy right there. Conover will sit in one position or swap between a couple positions for many, many laps, and then all of a sudden be up front, you know, wondering where the hell did you come from, you know?
Yeah, Josh Conover, I believe, races in real life in midgets, so he has a definite racer sense.
Got Jeremy Morrison up in 8th, started 20th. Got Dan Matthews up in 9th, started 14th. Rounding out your top 10 right now is Will Prue in that number 83. So let's go ahead and ride on board with your current leader, Mr. Susie. And we're going to go ahead and do a lap around with the Loud. Alright, and that was a lap around with Josh Susie right now, your current leader. Hey, I hope that's not too loud for you guys. Sometimes I know this simulation could be a little overbearing. I know when I first got it, I had to literally download everything, not download, but turn down everything to actually hear anything else going on. And Jonathan Boger has moved up to 2nd. Douglas Hess dropped back to 4th while we were watching Josh Susie make a lap around the track. And right now, George Munger has moved up to 5th position. Earl James dropped back to 6th. Interesting to see this here.
Earl James and George Munger are having a heck of a race right now. Swapped that position several times.
They're fighting for it. Definitely fighting for it. And now, you know, as we've gone about 6-7 laps, you see these guys are really spread out now. Go ahead and take a look at the broadcast blimp. Most of these guys running single file.
See Will Prue in the 83 truck, which was against the inside wall of an earlier caution, and he's back to being able to run in the 33 sixes. So he's running at least competitive laps.
Yeah, his fastest was a 34.070, and his last lap was a 34.755. So, we'll prove, we'll stick it out to the end. And he finishes a lot of races, and he's just trying out there. And that's all you got to do, especially with how competitive this league actually is. Just gotta give it all, and if you win, you win. If you get a top 10, awesome. If you get a top 5, still making you feel pretty good. But that's just one of the biggest things about this league is the very, very stiff competition.
Well, if you want to ask yourself how you think you're going to do in an ECR race, I think it's safe to say you ask yourself, how would you do in a top split of an official race where you'd have guys in the 4,000 or 5,000 range, and that's how you do, man. You'd have just about as much chance of cracking into the top 5 here as you do there.
And you're right about that. It also really depends on the track too. I mean, you got some guys that are just really crazy fast at some tracks, and at other tracks not so much. They'll stay in the back, and we've seen it here year in. We're about halfway through the year now. Well, yeah, it is June, so you've seen it, how fast these guys run in certain tracks or how slow they run at others. And it's interesting to see that the competition is pretty much always different. I mean, every track you go.
Oh, it is. You'll see kind of different names that are the real bullets at a given track. You'll see them being different guys.
Now, one name that is not here tonight, Justin Michael. So, and that's the thing, with this league, as long as you run half the races before the chase and you're in that points championship, you can be locked in for points and not have to worry about it. Also, if you win, you still have to do half the races, but you can have a few skip races and not have to worry about it.
It's nice to be able to drop one.
And I can imagine this, and probably Canadian Tire will be a drop race for a lot of people. Last year we had, I think, 7 people compete in Canadian Tire.
No way.
Well, a lot of people don't own the track. It's a very long road course, and said most people don't own it, so we didn't have a lot of competition, but it was still good racing. I mean, there was a lot of great battles in that, and I was surprised. I had never seen the track myself, so I wasn't even knowing what to expect.
That'll be a new one for me.
It definitely is a new one at that. And that will be coming up here, I do believe, next month or so.
You're correct.
Just trailing back through the field here. Not much going on here for battles. People just holding their own right now. That's one of the things about this track that is nice. You can run single file for a while and not have to worry about it. A little bit of a battle between Nick Edwards and the 48 of Corey Chaffin back here. Both guys are a lap down, so they're fighting for that lucky dog. And they're fighting pretty rough back here, too.
They are.
And it looks like Ron Miller is out. And currently, Josh Susie has led 20, going on 21 laps here. And he's currently almost 2 seconds ahead of Jonathan Boger. 1.73 to 1.74. It just keeps fluctuating back and forth. So, from the looks of it, these guys will be making a green flag pit stop here, probably within the next 10-15 laps.
I don't want to say it.
Don't want to jinx it?
I've been accused of putting the broadcaster curse on him, Scotty.
I didn't chalk to Susie this time, so. I taught the Hess, well, he's in 4th, but I didn't have anything to do with that. Alright, let's go ahead and go to a quick commercial break here, brought to you by Pit Stop Designs. Alright, we are back live. Josh Susie now coming up on lap traffic here. And as you see, he's starting to slow down a little bit now. He's almost a second off his fastest lap current. As he's passing this lap traffic on the inside here. 49 might want to back off just a hair. Oh, we got Frank Reese up into the wall a little bit. Yeah, these guys starting to really feel the wear on their tires now. One thing about the lap traffic is, they shouldn't try to be running with the lead lap cars as much as they can. I mean, sometimes it's very hard to do. You get caught up in the draft, but give them a little bit of space and let them run their race.
Yeah, for sure. You got to kind of watch your mirror, watch your relative, get out of the way when the leaders are coming, especially when you start getting into green flag pit stops and guys are going 2 seconds faster than you a lap on fresh Goodyears.
And it looks like we've got the number 3 down on pit road right now. It's currently a lap down. Might be getting some of that damage fixed. We also got the 33 of Daniel Reese down on pit road. He's just coming back out now. He got up to the wall there about a lap or so ago.
I guarantee you can't pit in here and not lose a lap. So when the green flag pit stops come, it'll be very interesting to see if they stay green throughout the cycle. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, let's we're on lap 47 of 125. We're nearing the halfway point here already. And these guys definitely putting on a good show, trying to make sure that they are, keeping it green, showing that what they can really do in these trucks, given, the track and not a lot of people showing up for this track. I honestly, the first time I ever ran this track was in the DW12 Indy car. And I tell you what, that is fun and super fast, but you've got to be down in 4th gear going into 1 and 2 or else you will lose it.
It's got to be just like flying a jet fighter in a gymnasium around here.
Pretty much. I mean, 1 and 2 is awesome. 3 and 4, you either get damn close or you can actually be on the rumble part just enough and not have to worry about losing it.
Well, it's a great racetrack. I like these. I like a pure oval, straight straightaways.
Oh yeah, no, it's as I mentioned earlier, it's like a mini Darlington, but just banked a little bit different. We got Will Prue up here back in 7th, followed by Tristan Rogers in 8th. Jameson Miller at 9th, and Josh May rounding out your top 10 currently. Quite a bit of damage on his truck right now.
Green flag pit stops are underway. Earl James pitted out of, I believe, 6th position. And you're going to start to see him coming in now, I think.
Yeah, you got George Munger in here now. I do believe Jonathan Bogart just pitted. Josh Sheets said a battle for 10th is awesome. When we saw it, no, there was nobody for 10th. Looks like Will Prue's coming in right now.
Yeah, anybody that's thinking about an early tire strategy is hitting pit road here in the next couple laps, I think.
So the 85 still sitting on pit road.
Just 9 cars on the lead lap right now. Andrew Melvin, last one on the lead lap in 9th position.
Okay, Josh Sheets says he's the RC. He's in the chat with us. Dan Matthew and Will Prue battle for 10th was amazing. I just caught the end of it then, unfortunately. The 78 of Ron Miller has been in the pits now for almost 21 minutes repairing. Looks like he's just wants to come back out here on the track and finish this. But he's probably got like a 34-minute repair as well. So with people going into the pits as well, you got Scott Hunsinger and Douglas Hess right now. Your current leader still showing Josh Susie, but I do believe that is about to change.
Susie's on pit road right now, Scotty.
And he's just coming off with the 51 right in front of him. And he's dropped back down to 6th position after that pit stop.
But
so
I believe that's going to cycle through.
Yeah, because it's showing Christian right now in first, and I don't think he's pitted yet, and just about to go through in the pits. Yeah, Christian Snyder's coming in. He led 2 laps there, just as these guys were pitting.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
And there's the caution.
Steven Sykes says he's watching Earl right now, hoping his pit strat works out. Let's hope so, as we do now come to a caution to pan these guys all out. Let's see if we can find who that was on.
Who's involved?
That's what I'm trying to look for. 85 says Josh Sheets. Let's go ahead and take a look and see if we can find that. Tristan Rogers. That is going to be his 2nd EOL. And that means he will be getting a DNF. If that is called on him. Yeah, he, looking back at that now, he got loose coming into 3 and smacked right into the 86 Conover. Yeah, I think Conover's race is done. He smacked the wall pretty hard. But I do believe Tristan was caught up in another wreck beforehand too. Might not have been his fault. Tough call for RC. Well, that wreck right there wasn't a tough call, but some of these wrecks that we see here week in and week out, very tough to call. Some of you like to call racing incidents. It really depends on who's the RC. Well, it looks like Josh Conover is going to come back out on the track. His nose is all twisted up, though.
It is.
Let's go ahead and take a better look at that. Yeah, that Lily diabetes on the front there. Definitely not as straight as it could be.
Yeah, that truck is damaged.
He's probably not. He's probably going to be probably 10, 15 miles off pace too. With zero aerodynamics like that. And Steven Sykes says with that caution, it looks like he'll grab 4th. Yes, you are right. It's going to be, it looks like, it's panned back out that Earl James is going to be starting 4th with top 5. Let's actually go ahead and do the top 10 right now. We got Jonathan Bogert, Josh Susie, Scott Hunsinger, Earl James, Douglas Hess, Jeremy Morrison, Dan Matthews, George Munger, Nathan Casillas, and Christian Snyder. Rounding out your top 10 as these guys do start to double up, and they will be going back to green here on lap 59.
Couple trucks taking the wave around there, and you can see the class of the field is still the class of the field.
Yeah, this top 10 here, definitely, you're one, a lot of your top contenders here in the truck series. And it's funny because some of these guys aren't even going for the championship. They just run fast.
That's true.
That's the beauty. That's the beauty of this league. As long as you keep your iRacing, your safety rating in the league up to your class. Like if you're A license, if you're running for the Cup, you can, as long as you keep your A license within the league, you can run B and C, and it works the other way around too.
Here we go. Jonathan
Boger.
Boger, a big start.
Green flag, green flag.
Oh, and just looking at that replay back there, Conover having to drop down low, let these other trucks go by because there's no way he was keeping up. I'd like to do that inside track there, as we see from this camera view. That little red track there, that little go-kart track.
Yeah.
Steven Sykes said that Earl pitted a couple laps before, so his tires are not as fresh as the others. Yeah, I mean, that might play a little bit of a difference. He's dropped back down, but honestly, with enough laps left to go, I think he'll be fine out there.
Earl went sky high in, I think, 1 and 2 at the restart, and he really slid back from that.
Yeah, that's, that had to be the tires. You wouldn't think it would make that much of a difference.
Well, we know it's a filthy racetrack right now, dirty. I mean, rocks and marbles and whatnot. And I bet if you get up high, it gets interesting up there.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys are able to see that in the broadcast or not. I know it does have a little bit of pixelation, but that can't be helped. It's just the way the encoding works. But this track is awesomely dirty. see if I can get a bumper of gearbox. Let's see if you guys can see the particles flying off, all the dirt flying off, as we come into 1 and 2 on the back of Jonathan Boger. And you can hear it hitting, too. I mean, that's the other thing.
Yeah, you can hear the stones and stuff hitting off the bottom of your race car.
Just rough, sounds like, and you can see the tire tread a little bit. I don't know if you guys can see that in the broadcast or not. Hopefully you can. I could see it. I know, and I know Todd can see it as well. So it's one of the little things, with the right graphics you can actually see for the sim.
Very incredible detail in iRacing. Much better than any game I've ever played.
Oh yeah, it may not have all the shadows and extreme lighting that some of these other, simulators have, but it's one of the most realistic feeling ones out there, and it's a huge community. You guys have seen, I mean, you've got 11 people watching right now. It's amazing how big this actual sim community is. I got into it last year myself, so it's awesome. I really do enjoy it, and if you have a wheel, it's even better.
Yeah, I never dreamed there was this many people doing this when I started. The more I learned about it, the cooler I thought it was.
Oh, definitely. We got a little bit of a battle going on back here between Will Prue and the 6th-3 of Christian Snyder. Battle for 10th yet again. About the only battle going on right now.
These two in 5th and 6th.
Oh yeah,
6th
I
and
see
7th.
that. You got 5th and 6th, yeah. You got Morrison and Munger and Earl James and Jason O'Connor. Jason O'Connor moving up 10 positions so far. I'm trying to give these guys some TV time. I mean, it's hard to do. Well, not real hard to do, but when there's not a lot of action going on. But Josh Susi, as you guys can see, has caught back up to Boger. He's wanting that first place position back. And if you guys haven't already, if you guys want to see the rest of the season or last year's truck season here with the ECR, make sure you guys drop a like and a subscribe. Definitely appreciate it here at the App Broadcasting Network.
Josh Susi making a bid for the lead into turn 1, and he'll make it happen. 2 truck takes the lead.
I think he kind of let him have it. I don't think he was fighting for that really too much, knowing that Susi might be just a little bit faster, or saving his tires a little bit.
I agree. He didn't put up much of a battle there, did he?
No, he just kind of was like, okay, yeah, I'll give you the inside. Do what you need to do. Let Susi wear down his tires and his truck first to give Boger the advantage of getting back up there. Strategies. That's what it comes down to with this league. You see it week in and week out. Every different series that we run, the Pit Stop Design Trucks, the Beeline Series, and the Pit Stop Design Cup. It's interesting to see the different competition, the different high rollers of each series. But once you're in that race, you might get lucky, but that competition is out there, and it's one of the stiffest in iRacing itself, besides the Peak Series.
Yeah, the top drivers in this league can really drive, and you have to be on your best day to beat them. But I would also say that the ECRL community is very helpful. They'll help anybody.
Oh.
Josh Susi just smacked the wall coming off turn 4 and slowed himself down, did he not?
Oh, we also saw Hunsinger going to the dirt, too. Go ahead and take a look at that real quick. Oh, yeah, he did smack pretty good. He got tight. but he's still in the lead.
Making that high groove work right now.
Maybe you just need to bend in that fender a little bit.
Yeah.
We're coming down to 50 to go already. No, that's right, yeah. I was trying to make sure I was mathing right.
Make sure you're ciphering correctly.
Right. Hell of a battle between these two, between the 97 and the 2. I'll tell you what. Boger is a rookie this year, and he is definitely putting up a fight with Susie. I want to go look at the other trucks, but every time I look away, it seems like these guys are getting closer and closer.
Yeah, hard to cut away from a battle for the lead, huh?
Exactly.
The producers will be yelling at you.
Oh, yeah. Nah, I think, Pit Stop Design's the one that actually, covers this. They're really lenient on what we do, but as long as I try to get enough TV time out there for everybody, that's the biggest thing. As we're going ahead and go back, you see George Munger now up to 4th. He's 4.2 seconds, 4 seconds. Golson off to 4 seconds, off the lead right now.
Do you recall what the fuel window was again, Scotty? 30-some laps?
Yeah, about 30, 35 laps. I myself would pit on lap like 32. Just because your tires are pretty much shot then anyways, no matter what.
The reason I ask is Earl James has short pitted the 39, and we'll see how many more come down. Let's see what happens there. I just made note of the fact that he pitted. He was the first one to pit earlier as well.
I don't know if you saw that post earlier in the driver's lounge. We have the ECR driver's lounge, but we had a post about short pitting. What is your take on that? How do you feel about the short pit? Do you think you should pit with the leader or pit several laps before that?
Well, it depends on how fast the tires are falling off. If there's a giant drop off and you can pick up a couple seconds a lap, and it looks like you might need that to make up some spots, especially if you're trying to race for the win, then certainly. But generally speaking, with the lack of experience that I have, I play follow the leader. When they go in, I go in.
With me, it really depends. Like on Wednesdays where I run Cup, I'm usually with my team, and I kind of rely on them to go. Sometimes I do my own thing. It really depends on where I'm at in the race. But if I'm close running with my team, I'm gonna stay there. We got a smoker here. Ooh. And that is the 51 of Miller. Jamison Miller. Let's go back and see what happened real quick, because he started smoking here coming out of corner number 4.
I think it's very interesting. The 3
wall.
Gets into the wall, and the 51 goes low to miss him, and let's see what happens to him.
That is the 3 of Jacob Cochran. Yeah, Jacob got up into corner number 4. Unfortunately, stayed up on the wall, but came back down when he probably should have stayed up on the wall. However, the 51 should have been low anyways, looking at your relative.
I think the 51 clipped him and knocked the oil cooler off it or something.
Must have. It's little things like that I notice, especially after being on here a while now. Things that you should have done on the track, especially with this track is super wide. You can run 4 wide, and not that I suggest it, but you can run 4 wide on this track. So there was plenty of room for the 51 to pass, and he just chose not to.
I don't think he expected the 3 truck to slow down like he did. I mean, I don't even know if he was aware he hit the wall.
He hit it in 4. Coming right out of 4. And he was up along the wall slower than the rest of the field in front of him. So to me, that would have red flagged me. Okay, I'm gonna go low, stay along that pit side wall. But stuff happens. We've got 45 laps left to go here, and your current leader is still Josh Susie.
With Jonathan Boger chasing right behind in his tire tracks.
And they're coming up on lap traffic now, which will slow you down a bit, especially if they do not move out of the way.
Boger's pitting.
Boger is pitting. Interesting. Let's see what his pit stop is actually. Let's go ahead and let the camera sit here just for a minute to see what these guys' pit stops are. And Nathan Katsilas is coming back out of the pits as well. And Boger is going to have a 14.786 second pit stop.
$14.7. Not the fastest under green, is it?
No. Currently the fastest, I do believe, under green. I might be wrong, but let's go ahead and take a look. Currently fastest is a 13.7 by Chaffin. And Ronnie Miller's still getting his damage fixed. 41 minutes now in the pits. That's dedication, my friend. Knowing that you've been wrecked out, I mean, he's going to be a lot of laps down, but a DNF definitely hurts you and your team.
$250K for the owner in fantasy funds right there. One of the great things about ECR, total fantasy aspect to it of team ownership, team funds, and so on and so forth. An extensive rule book, and that truck doesn't finish tonight, it's going to cost the owner $250,000 in ECR funds. So you want that truck on the track whenever that checkered flag falls.
Exactly. Now, that's something that we've done differently with the funds this year. We actually incorporated the cost of the cost to run the vehicle per race into the cost of the total vehicle. That's why they've gone up a little bit. So the trucks cost $4 million, the B-line cost $8 million, and the Cup car cost $12 million. So, and it makes sense because the Cup car is the premier league, the premier run. So it really does make sense for it to be that much. And you got guys that have a full team of Cup drivers. So you're talking 48 million ECR funds right there just to have a 4 Cup car team.
Yeah, so if you get four cars in a race, and all 4 don't finish, you're out $1 million. And so you need to have the best drivers at the wheel, and guys that'll finish, and guys that are willing to sit there on pit road, get an engine change, and get a thing back on the track.
Exactly. No, it's interesting because with the many DNFs that we do have throughout the series, guys have lost a lot of money this year on a lot of different drivers. I don't know if you're seeing this. Maybe it's just me, but Douglas Hess is kind of glitching out a little bit. Like his truck is tweaking just a hair. But we've got a battle up here too between the 63 Christian Sider, the 56 of George Munger, and the 31 of Douglas Hess right now.
Douglas Hess's his truck does have just a tiny little glitch to it every now and then. It's not exactly blinking out though.
No, he's not blinking. I think it maybe it's just his quality or ping might be just flashing a little. And that's the other thing about iRacing that, that's awesome, is the fact that you're connected to everyone else across the world at the same time, racing live with people. There's no AI in here except the pace car, and of course, your pit crew and everything. But as far as racing aspect goes, George Munger's now heading in. And so we see Andrew Melvin as well, Scott Hunsinger following suit. But that's the thing, you're racing against real people across different nations, and it's very hard for the servers to keep up. But most of the time they manage.
Yeah, it's nice to know that every car on the track, there's a human somewhere driving it with a computer, and it's not a computer-controlled car that can speed up or slow down to match what you're doing.
You just hope they don't run like the AI.
Right.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
And we got a caution. Lap 89 of 125, and I heard some smashing going on. Looks like Jamison Miller. We're gonna go back a little further. He started coming in on the access road after pit road. Why? Did he blow a motor? I mean...
I have him coming down the back straightaway and about to enter 3 and 4. And he slows down.
And he's creeping on this access road. Did he call out the caution, maybe?
I think his engine blew up on the front straightaway.
Yeah, but that should have still not called out the caution. I'm going down the access road like that.
I think he might have stopped in between 3 and 4 on the access road. He stopped on the access road, I believe. No, I see him disappear. I'm not sure. Oh, there he is again. There goes the pace car past him. So it's in between 1 and 2. He's very slow. There's no way he's fast enough to coast back.
Huh.
I don't know why the caution came out. It's weird.
Well.
It's
Interesting.
like the caution came out for a blown motor.
Right, which doesn't happen. While we have it here, as we come down to the last 30 or so laps, go ahead and go to a quick commercial break brought to you by ECR itself.
Are you out?
We are back live as pace car lights should be going off here as you guys start the cross finish line. And we're back, Todd.
Good to be back, Scotty. Bunch of cars taking a wave around there. Come up, the guys that all pitted early are getting their wave arounds now.
Well, it's going to come down here to 32 to go. They should be good on tires. And fuel. Should be. And Christian Snyder is going to be your leader coming off here. But he's got the 45 to Jerry Morrison on the outside of him. Followed by... Top 10 is not updated because Douglas Hess is not sitting in third. Wow. That's 97 of Boger. That's sitting right there in third position. Sometimes iRacing is a little funky, and where is half the field?
I hear them talking on the race chat that they're having trouble catching up for some reason. And the field is green.
And
strange
they were
restart.
super spread out. That is not good on a restart like that, especially coming down to the last 30 laps to go. And Christian Snyder, your new leader here. Interesting race here tonight here, Todd.
It is interesting. It's not the kind of race where you can easily see what's taking place as far as who's fast and who isn't, and who's actually winning this thing.
No, it's really spread out.
And that restart just totally confused me.
Oh, for sure, yeah, because that's why I was like, why is there only two trucks on the outside line? A little bit of a battle between Morrison and Boger right now. And a battle between the 20 and the 48. But I think those guys are laps down currently.
Susie, Boger, and Hunsiger are all still right there in the top 7. And we'll see if they can make their way back to the front now that they're not right there in clean air.
What I'm wondering is why Casillas and the 48 of Chaffin are up in the lead pack cars already after a few laps after that restart. That's a very screwy restart.
There was, I'd have to look at the replay. I'd have to rewind way back, but there was cars that were concerned about being able to catch the field. They weren't catching the field like they wanted to. These guys were probably trapped somewhere on the back straightaway when the field went green.
Interesting. Oh, got the 36 up into the wall. These guys almost pushing it just a little too much now. Knowing that they're coming down to the end, really got to watch how they wear these trucks, especially they don't want to go back in for another pit stop unless they have a caution. Even then, it'd be very iffy to see who actually goes in and who stays out. But fresh tires on a restart are definitely better than old ones.
And only 11 trucks on the lead lap, Scotty. If it's me and I'm on the lead lap and the caution comes out, we're pitting if I'm not lead.
Might as well, because you're not going to go a lap down during a caution.
Right, and if there's only 11 cars on the lead lap, you're going to be, the worst you could be would be 11th on the restart, which puts you a stone's throw from the leader. He's right there where you can see him, 5 rows up.
Got a little bit of battle right now between Morrison and Susie. And Susie passes him like he isn't even moving. But then Adam Morrison's got quite a bit of damage too, a lot more than Susie has. Susie has a pretty clean looking truck right now.
Yeah, and Jeremy Morrison's looks like he backed his up into a telephone pole.
A couple of times. But that's not his fault either. Well,
No.
Susie's got a little bit of scraping going on, but nothing too major. And Boger slowly falling back away from Christian. Christian's now almost a second ahead. 24 laps to go, guys. Anybody out in the audience have any predictions on who might win between the top 5 right now? Which is Christian Snyder, Jonathan Boger, Josh Susie, Jeremy Morrison, and Andrew Melvin. You got 4 rookies, an ECR, into the top 5 right now.
Andrew Melvin can drive.
He's proven himself. Definitely has proven himself in that 37 Flowmaster. I tell you what, I've seen him the last couple of weeks just be right up front and maintain his position. As I say that as Hunsinger is looking to make a pass for him, but he's one of these rookies out here that definitely knows what he's doing.
I think Josh Susie might be closing on the lead here. I'm not sure. Picked up a couple tenths that lap.
He's right now 4.8 seconds behind Snyder and slowly losing him. Yeah, he lost. Oh, well, no, he's gaining it back through the corner. I was going to say he lost 0.2 of a second, but he's flip-flopping back and forth between 0.2 and 1/10 of a second. But Boger still maintaining 0.7 of a second off. I think Christian might be running his truck just a little too much here, coming down to the last 20 laps. Slowly losing that distance between him and Boger. And Boger,
2 tenths that lap.
I gotta say, Boger is definitely right there. Wow, that was another 0.2. I think Christian needs to calm down a little bit, not get super antsy, and just ride it out. Oh, way too high.
Big
Way
mistake.
too high, yeah. Another 0.2.
I think you hit the nail on the head there, Scotty. He looks to me like he's just over driving that truck right now. And he's flirting with burning the right front off of it.
He's not able to take it low as quickly as Boger. And Boger,
97.
it sounds like he's downshifting, which is the smart thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
Not good for a hot lap, but good for, running, because you want to get that acceleration off, through the middle of the corner. Let's go ahead and go look at the gearbox view and see how close. Yeah, just like that, Boger, from this view, you can see how quickly Boger is catching up. Hearing that muffler rumble, it's awesome, because especially with the headphones that I have on, because it's just all bass. And hopefully you guys are able to hear that in the broadcast as well. I know I don't have iRacing up too loud, but I just want to make sure you guys are able to hear the commentary as well, because this simulation is very, very loud.
Jonathan Boger just rubbed the wall off turn 2.
And that puts him back to a second behind. But Christian's not taking it low enough.
He's shifting as well. If you ride with him, you can hear him shifting.
Yep, right there. just before the green light sign, he shifted back into fourth. Strategy. It might work out. I mean, I'd still run that line a little lower if I was him, but he's now 2 seconds ahead of Boger. And almost 6.5 seconds, a little over 6.5 seconds against Susie.
He drew a big lead from Jonathan Boger when Jonathan Boger got his truck on the apron, turns 1 and 2, and just went completely sideways. Made a miraculous save on lap 110.
And with this much of a lead, I would think, with 15 to go, coming on 14 to go, I would think Christian would just, ease back just enough, let the truck roll into the corners, have a good finish here. Don't try to overdo something.
Nah, he's probably going to wreck it.
Or that too.
I'm kidding.
No, Christian said this was his favorite track, so more power to him. I can't say anything bad about this track, honestly. I mean, you guys have seen it. We've only had 5 cautions and, over 113 laps, so that's really not bad at all.
No, it seems like we got the bugs chased out of it there after 15 or 20 laps, and we got a great race.
Going back in the field, you got Scott Hunsinger in 4th, you got George Munger in 5th. Him and Hunsinger having a little bit of a battle back here, not too much. They're almost 10 seconds off of Christian right now.
I think Josh Susie might have damaged his truck earlier when he hit the wall. I don't think it's been quite as good since.
Oh, when he bent his fender in a little bit? Coming off 4.
It seemed like he faded since then.
Well, he's running for... he's subbing right now, so it's all owner's points at this point.
Christian Snyder continuing to pull away, 3.43 seconds now.
I got him at 3.9 away from Boger.
Just
392. That's the one thing, yeah, because you don't see that live. You see it as they turn the laps. That's the one thing different about the IRTVO compared to actual iRacing itself. I actually see the live differential, which is just nuts right now. 3.6, 3.5. All Christian has to do now is finish it in these next 10 laps, and I think he's got it in the bag.
If he just keeps it underneath him, he'll be fine.
Well, Boger's gained a whole second on him in the last lap. I'm not sure what happened. If he just got down on the apron, spun out a little bit, but he lost an entire second on him. And don't count out Susie. Susie is only 1.5 seconds behind Boger, so he's still looking for 2nd place as well. But is these guys back here in 4th and 5th? Yeah, they're not even going to be close. It's going to be a good, it's a good battle between Scott Hunsinger and George Munger right now for 4th and 5th. And as you see, George going in for that inside line, trying to get that inside groove up on Hunsinger. Coming out of 4 here, and still side by side.
Well, Munger drove it in a little too hard there.
He's still a good driver. I mean, he comes out here every week, drives every series, and typically places good throughout all 3 of the series.
He's a good driver. I'd drive around him any day.
Yellow flag
Caution flag.
Oh, man. Ooh, 7
on
to
the
go.
36.
36. Dan Matthews. Are you sure?
He turns the 46.
Oh, turns the 46. Okay.
He called himself on it.
Yeah, he got up the track going into corner number 2. Yep, that's gonna be the caution right there. But that
It is.
that won't be it. I think we're gonna have three laps to go when we go back to green. Should we pull Christian down here?
Yeah.
Let's see if I can find him. Alright, let's go ahead. Christian Snyder, welcome to the broadcast booth. You're in here with Scotty Brown and Todd Gilly.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hi, Christian.
Watching your lead there as you were pulling away for quite some time. You had at one point almost 4 seconds on Boker.
Yeah, it was gonna be close on fuel. I was saving a lot, but the truck was real good all night. We got black flagged earlier, got almost a lap down, and was able to come from last the whole way up to 5th and stayed out and got up to the lead. I don't know how we did it, but this truck, hopefully we can get a good restart and get a win. I didn't think that anyone would take 2. It's going to be loose for them, so hopefully we can get around them.
Hopefully. Right now, you got several people that have stayed out that were not laps down. How do you think that's going to fare out for this field?
It's going to be a hectic restart. I know that for a fact. The tires really mean a lot. I don't know. With that many trucks in front of me, it's going to be real tough on this restart.
Yeah, because you're currently now back here in 5th place, but it's still, still top 5. That you can still get up here in these. I do believe it's going to be 3 laps to go when you guys go back to green.
Yeah, it might be enough time, but we can't get it. I feel bad for Ronnie Norman Racing and these guys. We've had a tough season. I think we've only finished like 3 races, and I've been looking for that first win. And Gateway is one of my better tracks. I was hoping I could get my first win here. It would mean a lot to Ronnie considering he's from Indiana. So.
Well, all right. Todd, you got anything for him before we go back?
Christian, you were able to stay out front after you got out in the lead after staying out. Did clean air make that big of a difference?
Clean air was a little bit of a difference. I mean, Ogre seemed like he had a faster truck, though, still. But I feel like I've had a fast truck from the beginning. Just unfortunately, it was bad luck that we got. Hopefully, though, our luck changes and we can get a good restart. And I'll hopefully talk to you guys again here very shortly.
Yeah, you must have been quick enough. You drove it to the front of the field. So good luck to you, man. Keep the shiny side up, and maybe we'll talk to you at the end.
Thank you.
Gonna be interesting to see what happens out, especially these top 2 guys. Got George Munger and Jeremy Morrison that did not pit.
Do you know if Josh Susie pitted?
I do believe he did.
I mean, if we have only 2 trucks on old tires in the front of the field, neither one of them is going to win the race. If the first 2 rows have old tires in them, then it's a different story.
I think they might have stayed out. I know Munger and Morrison did for sure.
Yeah, I kind of think the other 2 did as well because they were behind Christian. Here we go, green.
Green flag, green flag.
Munger with a great start.
Ooh, a lot of pushing going on here. 3 wide going into corner number 2.
Jeremy Morrison's having a problem.
It just pushed right out of the way. And Christian catching right back up. Munger's got old tires. He can't compete against it.
I'm gonna watch somebody doesn't get an EOL here. Because he is the leader and he still has the preferred line. You can't just run him over.
3 wide again. There he goes. And Susie back in first place.
A 63 truck flirting with blocking down the back straightaway.
You gotta watch what you guys are doing out there, you know. There's blocking and racing, and then there's blatantly like side rubbing somebody, taking them out.
Well, my personal philosophy is you only get to make one move to block the guy, and if you go low and then he goes back to the high side, then you kind of got to give it to him. You can't just weave back and forth down the straightaway trying to hold him up.
Well, that is true. A little bit of... Huh?
Oh, they're wrecking somewhere.
Yep, that's it. That's all she wrote.
Big wreck.
That was the 97 and the 56 back there. But your winner here tonight is Josh Susie. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the top 10 right now, and if you want to go through 11 through 20, then I'll finish it off. Todd?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. All right. First place winner is number 2, Josh Susie, followed by the 22 of Scott Hunsinger, 63 of Christian Snyder, 37 of Andrew Melvin, 72 of Jason O'Connor, 31 of Douglas Hess, 83 of Will Prue, 45 of Jeremy Morrison, 97 of Jonathan Boger, and the 56 of George Munger rounding out your top 10.
Nick Edwards finished in 11th place with Nathan Casillas behind him, Josh Mayu, Ed Adams, Dan Matthews, Earl James in the number 39 in 16th, Corey Chaffin in 17th, Daniel Reese in 18th, Josh Conover in 19th, and Jamison Miller round out the top 20 in the 51 truck.
And we have the number 3 of Jacob Cochran, the 85 of Tristan Rogers, 49 of Craig Blair, 78 of Ron Miller, and Josh Sheets was your race control here tonight. And as watching a little bit of this burnout from Susie right now, I bet he's super excited to be doing this right now. So let's go ahead and pull up, and it's interesting to say this, Todd, but you realize our top 3, 2 of the 3 are admins for this league.
Yes, those are all, those are big hitters, all 3 of them.
All right, so let's go ahead and find Hunsinger. Scott Hunsinger, welcome to the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Man, big congratulations to you here on second. I'm going to pull up Christian as well. I just found you first, that's why I pulled you up first, but congratulations on the second here tonight.
Thanks.
Big finish for you. Definitely a lot of hard racing out there tonight. Any feelings about the race here tonight overall?
It was a long race. I'm sweating my ass off. It was a lot of fun. It's my first time I've ever been at this track. So my first laps here were tonight. So it took me a while to figure it out. But I was able to follow Josh and those guys around a little bit and kind of learn some things.
Say, Todd, you got anything for him?
Scott, you were able to keep your truck near the front of this field for the entire race. Were you just kind of laying in there, just following them around, or did you have a strategy to kind of just hang in there, or what was the deal?
I was kind of just learning. I was riding at the beginning of the race, and then someone came into my channel and started talking to me, and I forgot what corner I was in, so I shifted down into third, and it kicked sideways on me, and I about lost it. So kind of had to gather myself back up and work my way back to the front, and then I kept getting caught on the cautions. Every time I would pit, I would either just be coming off a pit road, or I would be stuck on pit road when the caution came out. So I kept having to go to the back and fight my way back up again. So, but I mean, it was a lot of fun. It's a hard racing out there.
Well, you ran a great race, man. Congratulations on a podium finish there, getting second, and good luck next time.
I appreciate it, guys.
All right, Christian Snyder, you have a copy.
Yeah, I got you.
Congratulations on second here. You ran a hell of a race out there, leading. We talked to you earlier. To be back for a podium finish, how does it feel?
It's good. Not the finish I wanted, but I mean, third's, I guess, good enough. Josh kind of did a little trickery on me. We were talking, and I heard him saying he was taking 4, so I took 4, and he ended up taking 2 and got out in front of me, and he ended up winning the race, and I finished third. So I know not to listen to Josh now when it's late in the race. Don't listen to him. Yeah, this R&R Chevrolet did a fantastic job. I mean, I drove from like 13th the whole way up to 5th on one of the green flag runs, and the truck was amazing. And I can't congratulate Josh enough on the win. That's I think his first truck win. I think he said it was his first truck win or something like that. But congrats to him. We'll get ours soon.
Yeah, big congrats.
You did a great job tonight, Christian. Nicely done.
Thank you.
And the winner here tonight, we got Josh Susi. Do you get a copy?
Yes, sir.
Man, what a big pull-off for you to win this race.
Sorry, come again. They were talking on the other channel.
Do what?
Say that one more time. They were talking on the other channel.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said what a big big finish for you tonight. Definitely coming back and forth between first and the top 5, and actually getting the win here. Pretty stoked right now, aren't you?
Yeah, man, I'm pretty pumped. I apologize to Christian. I told him I was sorry that I said I was taking 4 and I took 2, but I just knew, especially when the 3 racked out, that put me, Christian, and 97 right there on top of each other, and it was just a matter of who had track position. And I thought maybe someone would stay out, but maybe not. I was kind of surprised, that we didn't have more, or that we actually had 2. It was just a toss-up. We were either going to have 5, 6 guys stay out, or none at all. And I was surprised there was 2. But I'm glad, I ended up taking 2 tires, because that was really the only choice I could make to get in front of Christian. And I'm glad I also took 2, because 97 took 2, and he would have beat us both out if I would have taken 4. And that could very easily be him sitting here and in victory lane versus wherever wherever he finished.
Right. Definitely a great win for you. Who is it you were running for here tonight again?
I was driving for my driver, Chad Engel. He was going through some hardware issues with his computer. Sadly enough for him, he finished his download for everything probably about 15 minutes after the race started. So he said he was still having some calibration issues, but I feel for him. I really want him to get back out on the track, but I wanted to get him as many points as I could, subbing for him since he's driving for the championship, but get him all them owner points I can get. His money at the end of the year makes me money, so I want him to do good.
Exactly. Todd, you get anything else for him before we go?
Just some congratulations on running a great race, man, and keeping that 2 truck up at the front throughout the whole thing. I thought you might slow you down there when you bumped the wall the one time, but, man, you come back strong, and that was just a great run on your part. Hats off to you, buddy.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. This track's pretty unique because, aero does play a little bit, but you can bang it up a little bit and still be fast. and it was ended up being 27 seconds of damage. But once I got back in my rhythm and the 97 wasn't hounding the hell out of me, I was putting down good laps and pulling away from him a little bit. So I figured, that hit wasn't too bad. And we're trying to play the fuel strategy game. It was crazy. I started saving at the beginning of the run and the last run there in the 97, and I think Christian were battling and wasting up fuel, and they started saving, and I was mowing them down. So I knew it was going to be close one way or the other. I was good on gas, and they were going to be super close. So it was going to be interesting. I think this finish was probably more interesting for the fans. I'm not sure whether you like hard 2-3 wide racing at the very end or fuel mileage. I guess it's your own preference, but either way, I'm really proud of my team. Jameson having his first race tonight. Unfortunately, he got a blown motor when someone smacked the wall in front of him. Chad's going to be back next week. Really pumped for that. And Christian, he's pretty much an Alliance teammate, finishing third. So that's really big for American Motorsports and Ronnie Norman Racing. I want to thank you guys for broadcast, ECR, Jameson for coming on board, everyone that watches, Chad for giving me the keys to the kingdom in his ride, even though he didn't really have a choice. He could have said no. And for these guys putting on long green runs, I really like this track. It's a lot of fun. And, I don't know if we come back here at any point in time this year, but if we do, I definitely look forward to running it.
Oh, all right. Definitely a big win for you, man. Congratulations. And before we go, Todd, you got any last words to the audience out there?
No, I just want to thank everybody for watching. I want to thank Scotty Brown for having me, ECRL, Anthony Thitchner for running such a great league, and all the drivers for being so cool with each other and just having such a great league atmosphere.
Awesome. Well, as Todd said, thank you guys out there for enjoying the race. Make sure you guys come back here next week, and hope you guys have a great night. Thank you again for watching.